working on tension. So tension is something, one of the last stages you do after you do your lateral, your radial, you check your dish, and then we want to lock it in with tension. We're going to be using the tension meter. This is the TM-1. And then we're going to be using, along with what it came with, is a TM tension meter conversion table. And then we have a key here which measures in millimeters. We're going to measure thickness of a spoke. So in order to understand what tension is required by this particular wheel, we're going to be checking out the thickness of the spoke. So if you don't have one of these checkers, it's almost like a spark plug gauge, or you can use something like a micrometer, basically checking thickness. We're going to check the center of the spoke. So I'm just going to continue through until I find the best tightest fit, which is going to be a 2.0. So then we're going to go over to the conversion chart, and we're going to also look to see what material we have, or the shape. We have round steel compared to, say, bladed steel or titanium or carbon or something like that. But most of the wheels out there are going to be using steel. So we got 2 millimeters. We're going to go down the chart till we hit something, what is kilogram force. We want to be about 100. So somebody did a conversion, not me. They figured what the best tension was for the majority of the wheels out there in the field. If you have a particular wheel, then you want to check with that manufacturer. So that number is going to be 100 kilogram force. And in order for that to be able for us to read it with our tension meter, there's a conversion, because this conversion goes from 0 to 45. So on the chart, we know that this is a 2.0 steel round spoke. Follow our chart down. Closest to 100, it's going to be between 85, 95, the next one 107, so we're going to go with 95. If we go over to the left, that deflection reading, so we're able to read it on here, it's going to be 23, which is kind of normal. We might be from anywhere from 20, 22, 23 for most wheels out there, at least for this style with the round spokes. So with that being said, we're going to go through and check. We can't check every single, or you can check about 4, 5, 6, get an average if you're in a hurry, or you can do every spoke on one side, which is on this side it was the disc. We got our non-drive side, and we got our drive side over here. So we're going to find our valve hole or any particular point that helps you remember where you started. And I'm going to check everyone on this side, and we're going to shoot for the middle of the spoke, not closer to either end, and letting that go, getting a reading of about 22. If it's right in between, I could say 22.5. So that's about, I'm going to say about 22, 21, 21.5. Check the next one. So every spoke on this side, which means we're skipping one spoke, jumping to the next one. I got a measurement of 19, 21, 22, 20, and about 19.5. So that's about 5 spokes right there. Put that number in. So once you add those 5 up, divide it by 5, and then it's going to give you an average. So if that number comes out to be, say, 19, and we're supposed to be sitting about 23, then we're going to be raising the tension of the entire wheel. But that being said, because this is a rotor, the rotor side is going to have dictate what the tension is. Going to a rear wheel, the drive side where the cassette is going to dictate the tension. So if we need to go up or down concerning left side, if it's the front where the disc is, or if it's the rear, it's going to be the drive side. So in this case, we're going to take a measurement on this disc brake side, going back to my hole, valve hole. All right. Every spoke on this side, so every other one, we got 24. We got 26, we got 23, 24 and a half, and 25 and a half. So overall, these are slightly higher than my other side here, which is my non-drive side. So disc brake side is going to dictate. We're running, I'd say, pretty high without using the calculator. Adding those up, dividing, if we're running high, then we're a little over 23. Say we're running an average of 25 without using the calculator. So then we're going to lower tension. Even though the other side is running pretty low, it's going to be running even lower. That's just gonna be a common. This side is we're gonna drop it down. We're gonna do a quarter turn of every single spoke. And typically that might drop us down 1 or 2 deflection readings, getting closer to 23, which is gonna drop the other side down maybe 2 deflection readings or so. So if we had an average of say 21, we're gonna have 20, 19, which is okay. Non-drive side, non-power side is gonna be running a little lower. Same with the rear cassette side, rear drivetrain. Drivetrain side is gonna be running higher than the non-drivetrain. Even though we have a rotor in the back on that rear wheel, the drivetrain side is gonna dictate how much tension we put on that wheel. So that's an introduction to the Park Tool tension meter, or any tension meter, DT Swiss or whatever you may have out there. Good luck.